Hello and good evening to you all. Um, I'm sorry I'm arriving a little early, but I think I need to have an early night. I really have had a very long day with lots of questions from the media about a certain person. We'll come to that in a moment. Anyway, I'm here now just to say hello and good evening. And I don't know if any of you are going to join, but perhaps it's a little early for some of you, given it's only 6:15 in the UK. It's 7:15 here in France. Anyway, I am here, and there's Andrea and Leslie. Good evening to you both. Good evening, Andrea and Leslie. Yes, today has been an interesting day because of the um, clearing of James Stunt. James Stunt has had a not guilty verdict. Um, I've had to drive 2 hours for absolutely no purpose. That was a complete waste of time. And now there's 13 of you in the room. So, you know, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background. Hopefully, it is not too noisy. Yes. Good evening from Malta, says Cafe Dando. Good evening to you in Malta, Cafe Dando. Good evening to TVL. There we go. So here we are, and we're going to be here for a little while. It is pancake day, but I won't be doing pancakes because I'm not really into pancakes, let's be frankly honest. Not really something that I'm very excited by, but when I was a child, they weren't so bad, but we don't need that tonight. Good evening to the wonderful Mario, the moderator, Mario Garcia from Broadstairs. Thank you for tuning in, Mario. We love Mario and we love June. Mario and June, the magnet, everybody there, simply the best, better than all the rest. I had to just endure in a bar when I went for a little wander. I had a little cocktail and I had a drink, and they played Celine Dion. My heart will go on. I was rather upset by that. But, some of the music in the magnet was wonderful, and some of the music in the magnet was, we liked Miss.com. She was the best. A bit of entertainment, bit of light-hearted fun there. And of course, we loved our wonderful Graham. Here's our Graham with a quick reminder. He went 500 miles and he was utterly fabulous. There we go. Mario has just arrived home from the best drinking establishment in Kent, the Magnet. We love the Magnet. We love Will and Nikki and Samantha and even Steve, who I believe has now gone to Cornwall. But he was a lovely gentleman. And of course, we loved Karen and all the others. But, times move on, and here we go. Hi to Pip and Chantel as well. Yes, Chantal, sorry. Chantal, not Chantel. There we go. Lovely to be talking with such lovely people. Thank you very much. Now there's a few more of you coming into the room. We can soon begin to talk about the actual topics in hand. But I wanted to say thank you ever so much for your kind words about Granny Howard, the lovely Granny Howard, and also your kind words on many other subjects. So thank you very much to all of you. And I think that it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that you are all so kind and so generous with your time. You're off to a pub quiz, says Pipfield. We'll catch up later. Well, enjoy your pub quiz. I hope you have a lovely time at your pub quiz. That's a absolutely fabulous thing. Sorry about the interruptions. There we go. Good evening to the Judge Clips. Good evening to Enigma, and good evening to you all. There we are. So anyway, we send our love to all in Broadstairs, our best wishes to everybody there. Absolutely lovely people. And today, is a sad day for me because my friend Jack Vetriano, who lived in Pont Street, Knightsbridge, has died. And, he was an absolutely brilliant painter. The snotty critics didn't like him, but he was one of the best. It's absolutely tragic that he's gone. He was a kind-hearted, decent gentleman. And we're also very sad to say of the death of my friend Catherine Apollinaris, who was Richard Whiteley's partner. She was 64. She was in Coronation Street. She was on Radio Leeds. We'll come to Leeds in a moment because that's where, the trial of James Stunt occurred. But Catherine was one of the most nice ladies I've ever met. I met her at the Dorchester at a party with Barbara Taylor Bradford and Hillary Clinton, of all people. She was a charming, lovely lady, and she was a very good dancer. I had a dance with her at the Dorchester. There we go. That's my one memory of Catherine. Catherine died too young. 64 is not an age. We know a lot of people who go on to grand old ages, and she was only 64. It is very, very sad that Catherine died. Richard Whiteley died in 2005, and it's a terrible thing because he was a brilliant man. He was fun, and I have a great little story about him. I met them that night at the Dorchester at this charity gala, which we'd sponsored with our drinks company. And the next day, one of the people at the table said, "Why don't we have them round for drinks?" Because they were staying round the corner from them. Anyway, we arrive at this house. And at the house, we walk in and their butler serves the drinks and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm there and they're there, the owners of the house. And then the doorbell rings and in walks a couple. They said, "We're here to meet Richard Whiteley." They weren't expected. And then the doorbell rings again. Yet more. "We're here to meet Richard Whiteley." By 40 minutes into the show, there's even more of them. And Richard Whiteley never turned up. So we never again saw twice nightly Richard Whiteley. So that's my only experience of that particular gentleman. It was a very strange thing. But Catherine and Richard were both great entertainers, lovely people. And, she was in Coronation Street in the 1990s. That was something else she did of her own. And she was on BBC Radio Leeds. And I think Catherine will be missed. Catherine was a lovely lady and very, very, very kind. And as for Jack Vetriano, an absolutely brilliant painter. Just because the snobs didn't like him doesn't mean he wasn't a good painter. When Lowry was alive, no one liked his paintings. And Lowry painted some wonderful things. And he was a fantastic painter who got criticized too. So never mind the critics. Always ignore the critics in life. Always celebrate the good people. And that's what I say about those two. Meanwhile, another person has been mouthing off today. It's her big day. Megan. So Megan has been, with love. Her and her jam. As they said on Radio 4 this morning, how can this woman make pasta sauce, tomato in white, and not end up covered in a bit of red stuff? It's all fake. That's what they said. It's all a bit fake, they said on Radio 4. And Radio 4 is normally very liberal and forgiving of the likes of me Gain, but me Gain doesn't know when to put a sock in it, does she? Me Gain is an absolute piece of toe rag. There we go. The Meg, utter BS, says Enigma. Well said. Critics have to criticize, otherwise they wouldn't have a job, says Mario. Well said, Mario. There we go. I agree with Mario. And, all she's doing is flogging the bloody jam, the sauce, the any old thing will do. Megain is an absolutely reprehensible rot bag, a piece of grot bag, load of nonsense. Absolutely appalling. And thank you to the Judge Clips for the RIPs for my friend Jack Vetriano, who was a wonderful artist, and the wonderful Catherine. I'm very sad to see those two people go, but I thank you for your kind words. She's more like me Fane than me Gain. Okay, well that's an interesting analysis. Yes, she does have a bit of a stink about her, doesn't she? Good evening from Scotland, says Enigma. Well, good evening to you in Scotland, Enigma. The Wicked Witch is still using her title, Sussex, says Mario. Yes. How many hours has Meghan Megain spent actually in Sussex? That would be an interesting question to ask her, wouldn't it? What connection does Meghan have with Sussex? And what connection does that drip, that useless piece of shit show, Prince Harry, the revolting toe rag that he is, the grifting, pathetic drip, have with Sussex also? I think the people of Sussex want rid of Meghan and Harry. Harry and Meghan don't have anything to do with those wonderful people in Sussex. Sussex is a lovely place, but it doesn't need those two. Nobody needs those two. They should be thrown in the funny farm. They're a pair of lunatics. They're a pair of grifters. Awful, awful people. One visit to Sussex, according to the media, says Mario. Yes, they've been to visit Sussex once. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex don't have an ounce, an iota, even a grain of sand to do with Sussex. It's an absolutely appalling thing. And good evening to Elaine Harvey. Well done for arriving. Elaine, we like you very much. Harry is a traitor to his country, says Mario. I totally agree with you. He is a grifter and a grabber. And he's a great friend of Elton John, another piece of rubbish. A great friend of, anybody can let Hugh Grant, another waste of space. All those kind of people. He links himself up with the biggest losers on the planet. Awful. Patricia says, such a loss and such a fantastic artist, Jack Vetriano. He excelled and was a talented artist. I'm also sad for your other friends passing. 64 is so sad. Wishing you the best. I say thank you very much, Patricia. And I say that we should remember the wonderful Jack and the wonderful Catherine for the fantastic human beings that they were. They were both a pair of achievers, and I say cheers to the achievers. They are both talented, wonderful, they were talented human beings, and I will remember them. Thank you. I was lucky to spend time with Mr. Vetriano, who lived in Pont Street, Knightsbridge. Um, the most amazing story about him was he had an apartment there, and when he chose to sell the apartment there, um, there was a door, and he'd painted on the door. The door was worth more than the apartment because he was a brilliant painter. And up yours to everybody at the Royal Academy, he was mean to him. So his door, one single rubbish old MDF door was worth more than his entire apartment because he was a very, very talented gentleman. And The Singing Butler was a fantastic painting. And I have a friend called Stuart Graeber in America. He but managed to buy one of his paintings for next to nothing at the beginning before he became famous. And of course, now that's worth an absolute fortune. So lucky Mr. Stuart Graeber, as were many other lucky people in this scenario. There we go. So anyway, how on earth did Harry get with her? He's an embarrassment. Yes, I agree with you, Enigma. Prince Harry is a stain on humanity. He's an appalling, revolting, disgusting person. I don't like Prince Harry, and I don't like Meghan. The pair of them are revolting. They are disgusting people. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be thrown out. Throw them in the tower, lock them up. They are worse than anything ever. Disgusting bad people. Prince Harry is an embarrassment to the world. He's a revolting, horrible man. Don't like him. Harry is a traitor to his country, says Mario. I agree with Mario. Well said, Mario. Thank you. Right. The tower is too easy. Yes, the tower would be too easy for those two. They'd probably make some jam in there. They'd probably um, you know, find some other way to grift. They're an absolute appalling pair. His next court case, yes, well, Donald Trump should throw the book at him. He lied about his drug taking in his book. So he should be deported from America. He shouldn't be allowed in America because he's a criminal. He's a liar. He is a liar and a deceiver. I hope they deport him. That's what I'd like. Jam in the tower, says Mario. Yes, he is a bit of a jam in the tower. I don't think his mental capacity could cope with anything above the first floor level, though, because he's a bit thick. And the jam would be a bit thick and sickly because she is sick in the head. And Samantha is a lovely girl. Loves Samantha Markle. Absolutely delightful. But Meghan, and as for Doria, Doria, did you ever go to jail, Doria? Let's ask that question. Doria, the drug dealer. Let's get that point out there. Doria, man up, grow up and sharpen. If you want to sue me, please do. You are a drug dealer, Doria, and we all know that. Yes, put them in the stocks, says Mark Ogden. I agree. Doria, Meghan, and Harry, put them in the stocks. They are reprehensible, rotten, and wrong. Awful, bad people. I don't like them, and I'm very glad to rant. I'm enjoying having a rant for once in my life. This is fabulous. I'm very much enjoying ranting. Absolutely great. Yes, Markle's jam is $25 a jar. Would you pay $25 for a jar of jam when you can get a jar of Tiptree for probably £2.50? No, you don't need to have Megane's jam. Nobody needs Megane's bloody jam. Her jam is ridiculous. It's like her. the Montecito meddler. She's a menace. The Montecito menace. We don't like her. Loving your rants, says Elaine. Well, um, I think if more people in the world ranted like me and Piers Morgan do, the world would be a better place. I don't want to be Piers Morgan. I'm myself, but I salute him and Jeremy Clarkson and others. We tell it like it is. We're not scared of the woke. The woke is the wazakry. The woke is completely unacceptable. I have had enough of tolerating the bag of bilge that is a load of rubbish. I don't like Andrew Tate. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like Zelensky. I will say whatever I wish to say, and no one is going to stop me. You know, today I've had ITN on the phone. I've had the Sun, the Mirror, the Mail, all of them about James Stunt. I haven't seen James Stunt since September 2020. I wish James Stunt all the very best. I hope that he now manages to enjoy what he calls his private life. This is what he claims he wants to do. I hope that he has a wonderful private life and he manages to move out of the shadow of his stupid former father-in-law, the coffin-dodging, tax-evading crook Bernard Eccleston. But I don't like his hideous girlfriend, Helena, you know, appalling Robinson, not a nice woman. She is not someone I have any respect for, and I've always said it. I wish James Stunt well, and I wish Helena hell. That's where I feel about Helena Robinson, the daughter of two crooked estate agents. Vile, horrible people. Awful. Absolutely common, disgusting, scum of the earth people. I never liked either of those two people, and I never liked her, actually. She's just a piece of toe rag, and, well, anyway, I hope his life now improves and I hope he has a good life. So that is my view on James Stunt. As again, I will say, I don't have any involvement. So ITN, everybody else who's called me this afternoon, I have no connection with the situation of James Stunt because I haven't spoken to James Stunt since September 2020. And that is an honest response. I cannot speak on behalf of someone I haven't spoken with in, 4.5 years. It's a long, long time. We have had no contact. And I wish him all the very best. And with regard to a man called Giamperio Ambrosio or something, whatever he's called, your program called The Royal Stunt. Well, I think that's now wrecked, isn't it, mate? So don't you call me up either. This man who's making this stupid film about the James Stunt paintings, don't you call me again, you piece of coward toe rag. You're another crook, and I'm not scared of you either. So I am prepared to speak out and tell the truth, but I wish James Stunt happiness in his private life. I hope he manages to get some peace and some decency. And yes, I hope that the newspapers will now, particularly the Evening Standard, leave him alone. Leave him in peace. Your article this afternoon was not very pleasant. And I'm not going to go into the details of it, but I think it's time that he is left in peace. But I have nothing further to contribute to this story, so I won't be contributing further to that story. I thank you all for your kind comments. That's very nice of you. As Mario says, we're returning to a different topic. Woke is on the way out. Donald Trump will shake up the world, and he will. The word woke needs to go. Woke has got to go. I agree with Mario. Mario has it exactly down to a T. I'm 100% in agreement with my dear friend Mario. We want woke thrown out with the bathwater. Let's chuck it out, throw it down the sink. We don't need woke. Woke is not for us. This generation needs woke to be dead, as the Blue Nomad says. Thank you, the Blue Nomad. You are completely bang on the very nail. I think you're a fabulous person for saying such a thing. Thank you very, very much for that. But no, we've covered all the topics. So have you any questions for me? Please ask some questions, and then we can consider trying to work out how to do a quiz. I'll have to just make the quiz questions up as I go along, because I haven't had time to prepare any questions because I was driving for 2 hours today, which was ridiculous. Anyway, you're sick of the woke and the word woke. Yes, I'm sick of the word woke. I wish the word woke had never been invented. I'm bored of the word. I agree with the pink rose. Thank you. Put woke to sleep, says Expialidocious. I love the word expialidocious. That's a fantastic word. Absolutely glorious. Well done. That's a nice word. I like that word. Very, very good word. Are there any nice bistros which you won't reveal? I don't know what that means, but in the locality here, there is a lovely restaurant that reopened today called La Caravelle, and they're very good at making a cocktail or a burger. They're very good at that. So yes, they're nice people. Right. Mario has just written a quiz for the SEN children. So well done to Mario, because you are the most brilliant man with what you do with the rugby for the children. You are the best. You're simply the best in the West. Thank you, Mario, for being a kind-hearted, decent gentleman. You do a lot more than most people on the planet. You get up and you go out there and you help poor children who, don't get help otherwise, and it's fabulous what you do. You really are. And the radio, the BBC radio tribute to you was very, very nice, and I thought that was lovely. But I know you continue to do more all the time, and I like to salute somebody who does good work. And Mario, you're the best in the West. Lady Min here, she should be saying something also. Come on, Lady Min.
I love you, Mario.
She-
I think you're brilliant. And I love what you do with the children.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of a salute from Lady Min. I don't know if you can hear it because the microphone is a bit far away, but we love your work, Mario. Mario, the best in the West, without a doubt. You're a bit late for the show, says Mersey Woman. I assume you're from Liverpool. So cheers to Liverpool. I have been to Liverpool, only to the Albert Docks, when I had to go and see the dreaded Richard and Judy. And we all know what I think of Richard and Judy. Awful people. Many, many years ago. But Richard and Judy are not people who should be celebrated. Anyway, Mario, Mrs. Min. What do I think of the latest Alex Belfield? He's coming back. To think he and Katie Hopkins were monetizing. Pink Rose, I don't know. I haven't seen it. So please, could you send me the link? Alex Belfield is a horrible man. He deservedly was sent to jail for what he did. As for Katie Hopkins, I met her with Peter Mandelson. Says it all, doesn't it, really? Peter Mandelson and Katie Hopkins, two pieces of trash bags. Not the kind of people that I would ever wish to spend time with. And I was invited to join a private members club, and there was the opening party, and I got stuck next to those two at a drinks party. Well, I didn't join the private members club, did I? Because why would I want to be in a club with those two? That would be a fate worse than hell. Peter Mandelson, associate of Jeffrey Epstein, paedophile, and Katie Hopkins, associate of Alex Belfield, disgusting harasser of people. Absolutely vile set of people. No thanks. No bus ticket for me. I didn't join that bus. I didn't get on that charabang, did I? Thank the Lord. Mandy and Hopkins, vile. Yes, I totally agree. Peter Mandelson is not fit to be British ambassador to the United States of America. Shame on Keir Starmer, the farmer harmer. I hate the farmer harmer more than I hate anybody on the planet. I don't hate anybody, but I hate people who hate farming. Our farmers are our keepers of our beautiful countryside, and this creep Starmer is harming the farmers, and he's now trying to stop them protesting. He's going to have them arrested if they bring their tractors to London. I say, farmers, bring all your tractors, blockade the roads, make the place crash. Bring every single tractor in Britain to London and blockade the roads, because Starmer should not be taxing our farmers out of existence. Farmers are the guardians of the great, beautiful British countryside. We wouldn't have a hedgerow if it weren't for the farmers. Farmers are the best. Starmer, you bought a field where you could put some donkeys for your stupid your parents, and then you sold it at a profit of 450,000. You're a crook. You're a greedy piece of rubbish, and you couldn't even pay for your own glasses or your wife's knickers. For God's sake, man.
Or his glasses from Specsavers.
Go to Specsavers, as Lady Men is telling you. You need to look in the mirror, actually, and realize what a piece of junk you are, Starmer. Starmer, the farmer harmer. And as for you, Rachel Reeves, Rachel Thieves, you're a thief who takes from the old people, the old pensioners. Pensioners. You're taking their heating allowance away. What is wrong with you? You're meant to be a socialist, love. You're not meant to be Margaret Thatcher, the milk snatcher, as they called her. And Margaret was a wonderful lady. Margaret was the antithesis of people like you. You're an absolute piece of junk. You're disgusting. And as for you, the other one, Angela Raving Rainer, you are just a creep that grifts off Taylor Swift. Free tickets here, free tickets there, free tickets everywhere. All you want is a free ticket. But you don't want to do anything for anybody else, do you? You don't help the populace. Raving Rainer. You're a rat bag. Rat bag raving Rainer. Lock you up. You're the worst on the planet. And here you are on Radio 4 this morning. I heard you going, Donald Trump, I can't make any comment. Keir Starmer's in charge. 6 months ago, you'd have been condemning the man. You're a hypocrite, woman. You're a bloody pain in the arse. An absolute disgrace. Raving Rainer is the one I fear the most because Raving Rainer will be the next Prime Minister. Mark my words, this dangerous woman will be in charge of our country. And what the hell will we do then when we've got that lunatic in charge of the asylum? She is scarier than Scary Spice. You know, Scary Spice and Lady Victoria Harvey, they had a bit of a threesome. We won't be having a threesome of Keir Starmer. No, he'll be out with the bath water. We will end up with Raving Rainer in charge. And it will be a very, very worrying day for Britain. We are going downhill. Now, this Zelensky man, he's another piece of trouble, but you're not allowed to say that, of course. I meant to sit here and say, oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely wrong. Mr. Zelensky has been wronged by Donald Trump. No, Mr. Zelensky will have a private plane ready and waiting to fly him out to, whichever private territory he can go to, probably Switzerland or wherever he wants. There'll be plenty of money on there. I am not going to sit here and say Mr. Zelensky deserves our support. He doesn't. And I don't say Mr. Putin deserves our support. I'll say both of them are shocking stains on humanity. But it doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to criticize Mr. Zelensky. But of course, by doing this, I will be cancelled. I know this. I will be called out as someone who has dared to break the narrative. I'm not a fan of Mr. Zelensky, and I'm not a fan of Mr. Trump. There we go.
Destroy the country.
We're getting some shouting in the background. You've obviously heard it. David Lammy spent £526,000 on food in 4 months. David Lammy is a disgrace. £526,000 on entertaining him. Who'd want to spend 5 minutes having if I wanted a pork pie, I'd go down Marks and Spencer's and buy myself a nice one. That would probably cost me £2. 526,000 to have a pork pie with him? No, thank you. No. Vicky Pollard with hoop earrings and a can of Red Bull. That is Angela Rayner, says Joseph. She does look like Vicky Pollard, yes. Yes, she's got a bit of a Vicky Pollard look of her with hoop earrings and a can of a Red Bull. That's a good description. Thank you, Joseph. We'll now think about renaming Angela Raver as Vicky Pollard. Yes, that's a good one. Enigma agrees with me about Zelensky. Expialidocious, who we love your name, you liked Trump. I don't particularly like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump has shaken up the world. And I think that is no bad thing after the era of the brain dead lunatic Biden. Biden was a bozo. Biden was spooked. The man didn't even know what day of the week it was. He wasn't fit to be in charge of a bus ticket, let alone the free world. So we have moved on. But America has shamed itself by having the alternative of Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Could they not find someone better? But what has happened in the last few days with Zelensky? Yes, Donald Trump is a chess player. Donald Trump is a game player. He treated that meeting like a game of chess. And I had lunch today with some nice, lovely people. And they gave me an email that was all about chess. And he did play a game. He definitely played Zelensky. He knew what to do. He had the signals. And the Vance character was a pawn in the game. He was manipulated like the you know, a terrible thing. It was awful. It was an embarrassment to the world. But Mr. Zelensky turns up dressed like he did. Now, everyone goes, oh, it's the war. He can wear what he wants. You don't turn up to a meeting dressed like the village idiot. I'm sorry. Put some decent clothes on, you Burke. You surprised Burke. It's not correct to turn up to the meeting not correctly dressed. And this is where, I don't like Nigel Farage, and it's Farage as in garage. I'll say that again. You turn up to a meeting appropriately attired. It's not correct to come in your combat gear and your stupid black t-shirt. You're going to the White House. You're not going to the council estate. I've been to a council estate today, and I was wearing a jacket. And when I got out of the car, I thought, my God, I'm going to get mugged. I went to the roughest place you could ever imagine, and they looked at me like, what are you doing here? And they gave me a look, and I thought, oh dear, I should be more like Zelensky in this situation, actually, because my attire was wrong for that setting. Because here I am in, bright orange, and I had a jacket on as well, which I've taken off. I was in the wrong attire for there. I was like, bring it on, mug me. I was scared to get out of the car. It was a truly horrible place. Anyway, Mr. Zelensky, meanwhile, reversed the role. He didn't dress dignified. He should have put on a jacket and tie at the very least. It would have been the right thing to do.
You look worse.
Was I in Peckham? No, I'm not in Peckham. No. Trevor. I'm in the south of France, but we were in a rougher part of the south of France today because we had to go looking for something. And we had to go looking for an office where we were meant to go to pay some taxes. But it was a very rough place. It wasn't very nice. Respect for saying this. People are afraid to speak out. Mario says, and were you wearing orange socks? Yes, of course. As everybody knows, I coordinate all my clothing. I always have to have the orange belt, the orange socks, the orange jumper, if I'm wearing the orange jackets also. So yes, I was coordinated. Thank you, Mario. Zelensky is getting very rich off the USA and everyone else who is giving the Ukraine money, says Susan Curtis. Absolutely correct. Zelensky is not a man we should be supporting. Zelensky is a grifter and a grabber, and you mark my words, he's going to be the next Gaddafi, or he'll be the next Saddam Hussein, or he'll have his little family get on a plane out to Switzerland or wherever they go, grabbing every bit of money of the poor of the Ukraine. Ukraine does not need to continue allowing this piece of toe rag to keep going with his fake war. He's wrong. I would never have supported it. Did I have orange trousers? No, I don't have any orange trousers on myself. Lady Min here does wear orange trousers, but I don't possess a pair of orange trousers myself.
Mine has sparkles.
Hers has sparkles, and she wants me to share that with you. Anyone in a suit where I live, we assume they're going to court. Where do you live, Des Dog? Where do you live? Are you in Leeds or Bradford, perhaps? Because that's where the only people I know has been in court today. Right. Jason asks me, kill, marry, shag, Phil Schofield, Anthea Turner, or Prince Andrew. Well, I'm not into the sexual activities. Gosh, the worst of those two. Three. Well, the least worst of the three is obviously Anthea Turner. I will give in Anthea a pass. Could Anthea Turner be a peace broker in Ukraine? No. I think she would swing into action with her marigolds and her bleach. She loves a bottle of bleach, does old Anth. So there we go. Right. You watched a documentary by Oliver Stone that revealed Zelensky and his crooked war. There we go. We've got this person called Fred Wiverow. Yes, hello, Fred Wiverow. We know who you are. Please go away. You're not welcome on this channel. Why don't you bog off? Fred Wiverow, you're a crook. You're a creep, and you're horrible. Get off my channel. I don't want you here. And, right, I don't know how we get rid of you, but I will get rid of you. Right. Remove. Bye-bye, Fred Wiverow. Mario is going to get rid of you. Thank you, Mario. That's very helpful, Mario. This Fred Wiverow he's another Ghislaine Maxwell apologist. We don't need him here. Bye-bye, Freddie. Go back to your little sitting room and, do some knitting or whatever else you do on a Tuesday night, mate. There we go. Is Fred Michael Barrymore? He could possibly be Michael Barrymore. I don't know. He's just a pest. He's just an absolute petulant pest. Anyway, no, thank you very much, Mario. You are the best. I'm glad I've got you as one of the moderators of this channel. Simply the best in the West. Don't we agree? We love Mario.
I've got a bottle of wine here. I wish he was here.
Min wishes Mario was here with us. I wish many others of you were here with us. We'd be having a wonderful party. But there we go. Fred is funny. Michael Barrymore isn't. I think Fred is funny in the head. Yes, that's all I shall say of him. Barrymore is mentally unhinged, and he's a monster. And the Lubbock family need justice. I care for the Lubbock family and the justice that they need. What was he saying? I'm making my breakfast. Oh, who knows? It doesn't matter. Who cares? We don't need to give him any more airtime. He had his little moments, and now we've blocked him, but he'll come up with a new name tomorrow. That's what he always does, this freak. He's a fruitcake. Is it wrong to call an NHS nurse Ratchet? I don't know. Why do you ask me that question? I don't know what the relevance of the question is. Sorry. Thank you, Enigma, but I don't get the point of your question, so I can't answer that one. So next question, please. Barrymore has new social media platforms, so I believe he's begun doing YouTube. I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it. Michael Barrymore deserves to be a body in a barn. He's a horrible, evil man. He's disgusting. He's filth. And he's an associate of Baroness Marie Claire von Alvensleben, another piece of scum, a racist cow who, I was a witness in a court case against her. Horror. She rolled around on the floor with him drunk. I've only ever sat next to Mr. Barrymore at the next table in a restaurant. I don't know him personally, but I do know members of the Lubbock family, and they suffered. 2 children don't have a father because Michael Barrymore won't tell the truth about what happened on a night when 9 people went to his house and 8 of them lived. Those 2 children have never had a father. Their father is dead. It is morally wrong that Michael Barrymore doesn't tell the truth. I am not going to shut up about this. This is one thing that I will continue to go on and on about. Just as I've gone on about the Menendez brothers, and now Gavin Newsom, Gavinator, governor of California, is trying to get them clemency, and I've got the Barrymore, Jeremy Bamber people who are getting a review in the coming days. There will be a review of Jeremy Bamber's case. I've got Omar Benguit. I've got Mark Alexander. Everybody told me when I started with all of these cases, you're crazy. These people are all guilty. The guilty, the crooks, the bad. Well, they're not. At the beginning with Jeremy Bamber, I was, not really convinced. I thought, this man's probably guilty. I was 45%. I'm now 90% convinced he is innocent. And Heidi Blake did a brilliant job. And this bloody Barrymore, from day one, I've been convinced he needs to answer the questions. 9 people went to a house and 8 of them lived. 3 of them were women. The 3 women cannot be the rapists because it's impossible. It's physically impossible. They cannot have raped a man. That's not going to have happened, is it? So that takes down the possibility to the men. And then of the men, we've got Michael Barrymore, who ran away. Curious that. Why did he run away? From his own house? Why did he need to run away? And then we've got his then boyfriend, who is a convicted offender at the time. Curious that, isn't it? So I would say of the 2 people who are most interesting in this case, it's those 2. So Michael Barrymore, come forward. Sue me, Michael Barrymore. I'd love to go to court with you. I'd love a court case. That'd be a lot of fun for me because you are a piece of scum. You have allowed 2 children to grow up with no father because you couldn't be honest about what went on at your house. You got in a taxi and you said, I really want a F star, 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 star. And the taxi driver has repeatedly talked about what you wanted to do. And this poor man was raped at your home, in your swimming pool, jacuzzi, whatever you want to call it. And you ran away from the scene of a crime because, oh, you're famous. What about those poor 2 children? What about Terry Lubbock, a man who died without getting justice for his son? Shame on you, Barrymore. You're a piece of junk. You're an absolute reprehensible, rotten ratbag. And now you're trying to make yourself famous on YouTube. Oh, well, here I am on YouTube responding to you. You're a creep. You're a disgusting, evil man because 2 children have grown up without a dad. That's not fair. What you did was wrong. Why not just come forward and tell the truth? 9 people came to your house, you had a party, it got a bit out of hand, and then you ran away. Well, somebody at your house, and I'm not suggesting it was you, killed Stuart Lubbock. He was murdered and he was raped and he had things put into his body by somebody at your house. And then those things went missing. After you ran away and your agent turned up. So we know about the pattern of events, but you need to man up, grow up, and show up and shut up about yourself. You're a pathetic specimen. You're a man who got down on your knees and worshipped Jimmy Savile. You're a man who dressed up once as Hitler. That is absolutely abhorrent. There's nothing decent about you, Barrymore. I can't stand you. I think you're a sickening stain on humanity. And I'm not prepared. I'm very glad I'm ranting tonight. I'm in the mood for a rant. And you make me sick dressing up as Hitler. How dare you, you revolting person. Yes, so here we go. Barrymore knows it all. Yes, says Mario. I agree with Mario. Barrymore is cooked, says Tina Da Silva. Tina, you're bang on the nail. I do apologize for my rant, but anytime this comes up, I get very emotional because I've spent time with this poor lady who was married to Stuart Lubbock. It's terrible what happened to her. This man has taken away the lives of a number of people and ruined their lives. Barrymore continues to profiteer. It's disgusting. It's sickening. Barrymore belongs in prison, says the Blue Nomad. I would like to see Barrymore prosecuted. Yes, the Blue Nomad. It is time that Barrymore faced justice. But of course, guess which police force we're dealing with? Essex. So Essex Police's catalogue of errors: the Range Rover murders, Dr. Jones, Michael Barrymore, Stuart Lubbock, Jeremy Bamber, the Essex Police, aside from the Metropolitan Police, is the worst police force in the world. I cannot stand the Essex Police, and I will not shut up about them. They are awful. It is wrong that Essex Police is allowed to even operate. They need to be closed down. Start a new Essex Police, because this lot, they're a bunch of crooks. Dreadful. Look at what happened with that man Gold. He got shot in the garden. Okay, he was a bit of a crook, but, they didn't do anything about that either. Everything that goes on with Essex Police is a disaster area. They couldn't solve the stealing of a chocolate teapot, could they? They're absolute bunch of fools. There we go. Corrupt to the core, says the Blue Nomad. I totally agree with you. There we go. Please don't apologize. Well, I do apologize because I get very emotional about things that I get involved in, because when you actually get involved in a story and you get to know the people who have been through the story, it's very sad. And, I've had today 25 phone calls from media about James Stunt. I haven't seen James Stunt in 5 years nearly, but I still care. And it's not very nice when you are involved in a story personally. Like, all of you the other day sent lovely pictures of my my great uncle Peter Howard. That was very nice that I got all these photos, and that was a very nice thing. But that was back in the 1960s. Um, he was in the Munich air disaster, and he was a significant person, and he did good for the world. And when you're involved directly in a story, you have more passion about it. And I really cannot stand what Barrymore is doing. Barrymore thinks it's all a bit of fun. Well, those two children don't have a father as a result of what went on at his bungalow. 9 people went to a house, 8 of them lived. I will not stop saying this. Barrymore should put a sock in it. I don't like Michael Barrymore, and I'm going to continue calling Barrymore out. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All 8 of them knew what happened, and they are perverting the course of justice. Well said, the Blue Nomad. You are totally spot on. It makes me so angry that Michael and the rest of them are living their lives freely. It's disgusting, says Pink Rose. Thank you, Pink Rose. You are completely correct. There we go. The country is corrupt, says Enigma. Yes, I totally agree. The country is getting worse. Under Farmer Star Mahama, we don't get any justice. But look, him. What did he do about Savile? Okay, allegedly he wasn't responsible for that, but Keir Starmer was, a certain part of justice at that time, wasn't he? So there we go. Useless, wasn't he? Absolutely useless. I've left a message to Michael Barrymore asking, what do you do about Stuart Lubbock? Thank you, CCC. Thank you. That's a good thing. We miss your passionate discussions in the Magnet, says Mario. I miss my passionate discussions in the Magnet. There we are. Keir is a wet lettuce, says Tina. Yes, Keir is a definite wet lettuce. He's a drip. He's just like Prince Harry. He's the Prince Harry of politics. Absolutely appalling. Well, thank you very much. We've reached an hour of discussions now. I've very much enjoyed this thus far. Any more questions? Let's move on to a different topic. No more Michael Barrymore. I think we've done enough of that for one evening. But I'm, you know how passionate I am about that. But I hope you're all passionate enough to start harassing. Send him a message. Send him a message on his stupid new Instagram or his YouTube or whatever. Send him a message saying, what are you going to do about poor Stuart Lubbock's children? If you're so rich now, why don't you send them some money? Tell him that. Tell Michael Barrymore to send those children some money. That would be the nice thing Michael Barrymore could do, surely. Wouldn't that be a kind thing he could do as recompense for his party where he had 9 people and 8 of them lived?
Change the subject.
No, tell him to send some money to those children. That's what I want. I would like you to do that. Thank you. I think that's the right thing to do. Right, you're going to do it right now, says Hey Tiggers. Thank you. Well done. You're the best. We have to be nice to people. We can't harass Michael Barrymore. Well, Michael Barrymore dressed up as Hitler. So no, I'm not buying that. Sorry. Absolutely right. Barrymore's backstreet back is appalling. Yes, it's absolutely appalling. What is my opinion on King Charles and his consort. Well, I like King Charles, but I don't think he was right to have the Zelensky man to Sandringham. No, absolutely wrong. Wrong decision. But, that's diplomacy, and I don't know the world of politics. It's perhaps something he had to do. He had to do as he's told because Keir Starmer told him to. So there we go. What's my thoughts on Elon Musty, as you call him? Elon Musk is a loose cannon, and it won't end well. No, Donald Trump and him will fall out, but I don't know when. But for the moment, the two of them seem to be in charge of the world. They've got the keys to the entire world, so we can't stop them. Right. What's my thoughts on anything else? Let's have a look. Linda Bellingham, her husband, and the sons who were left out of her will. It is disgusting. I don't know about Linda Bellingham, her husband, and the sons who were left out of the will. I can't possibly comment, Spooky, but perhaps you could tell me more. But I don't know about Linda Bellingham's will. No, sorry. I've utterly no knowledge of this topic. King Charles was good friends with Jimmy Savile. Yes, he did go to visit him in Glencoe. But so did, Margaret Thatcher spent time with Jimmy Savile. So did many other people. Esther Ranson, they were all there. But, you can't blame everybody for everything. But I will say they all showed very poor judgment in associating with that revolting man. He was clearly wrong from the minute you encounter him. Vile. Right. Margaret Thatcher's assistant was a paedophile. I don't know which one you're referring to, but there we go. Right. The Oxo woman. Well, that was Linda Bellingham, yes. I know who Linda Bellingham was, but I don't know anything about her will and her husband and her two sons. There we go. I'm a good judge of character, but is there anyone you've got very wrong? In my past, I suppose I could say, elements of the person today who has been cleared. He wasn't a perfect person, but he wasn't an entirely bad person. But yes, in that case, yes. In that situation, perhaps. Anyone else who I've got completely wrong? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of one immediately. I have trusted people. I'm not going to name one person who I trusted who turned out to be a wrong one. But that is documented also. Don't know. I can't answer the question. I'm struggling to think of an answer for but thank you for your question. That's a very good question, actually. I'll consider it and I'll come back to you. This lady had cancer and made another will, leaving everything to her third husband and wishing her sons to be looked after. They had a fight through the courts for a flat. I don't know about the story. I can't possibly comment on that particular story. Will Andrew Tate ever face justice? Well, Andrew Tate is now in America. I don't think Andrew Tate will be coming back. I think Andrew Tate will just stay in America. I don't think there's any chance of any justice for any victim of Andrew Tate. People I know have done programs with Andrew Tate. I was asked to do a program with Andrew Tate, but he had conditions. The conditions were that you have to only ask Andrew Tate the questions Andrew Tate wants to be asked. Well, I'm not prepared to interview somebody if I can't ask a question I wish to ask, because frankly, there's no point to an interview if you're just regurgitating their list of questions, is there? So no, I never ever would want anything to do with Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate or their vile family. They are a bunch of disgusting people, sick in the head, rotten and wrong, and I hope the book is thrown at them, but I think now they're in America, the likelihood is they get away with it. That's what's going to happen with Andrew and Tristan Tate, in my opinion, but you never know. But, Ghislaine is another one. She could, in June, apply to come back to Britain. And if she gets back to Britain, she'll get a lighter sentence. So these kind of sick sex criminals, they can find ways and means when they have money. But Ghislaine, the difference with Ghislaine is Ghislaine hasn't paid any lawyers. So the Tates have a lot of money because they've probably hidden it away. Ghislaine she might have money, but she doesn't want to share that she has money because she doesn't want to pay the existing lawyers. So Ghislaine is a more curious case. There we go. Right. Can we talk about Cliff Richard? Yes, Cliff Richard is another horrible person. Don't like him. Revolting, creepy Christian crooner. Sick in the head. Something wrong with him. He makes me feel like vomiting. Absolutely bad. There we go. Spooky Boo says, my grandparents have just moved to Broadstairs. I live near Alderley Edge. Well, my mother is in Alderley Edge. Happy belated birthday to your grandmother. Thank you, Spooky Boo. Yes, thank you. Well, cheers to you. That's lovely. Do we recall you spoke about Cliff Richard the other evening? He's close to death. Well, he's getting older. I don't know if he's close to death, but there we go. Maxwell owes $3 million to her lawyers. LOL. Yes, Maxwell owes at least $3 million to her lawyers. Spooky Boo, tell them to visit the Magnet, says Mario. Yes, well, Mario would love to meet Spooky Boo's grandparents in the Magnets. That would be a nice thing, wouldn't it? So we hope that Spooky Boo's grandparents can make it to the Magnet, given they are living in Broadstairs. Andrew Tate wants to be Prime Minister of Britain. He has no chance. Pink Rose, I think you're quite right there, because if he comes to Britain, it will only be for one thing. He will go on trial for sex trafficking, because he is meant to be extradited once his charges in Romania are over. He's meant to go back to Romania for his trial, but I don't think he'll leave America. I actually think that man will be the coward that he is. Are there lots of English speakers where you are? We've been with a lovely couple today, Kathy and Mike. They're from Howard's Way. Sorry, terrible rendition. But anyway, that's where we were. Yes, there are lots of English speakers down here. The French are good at rosé. They're not very good at dealing with bills. They're not very good at dealing with any kind of admin. But yeah, there are lots of English speakers here. And many of them, the French, they do join in as long as you are willing to join in with them. So, as long as you have a drink, that's all they care about. They're very happy about a drink. What are my topics tonight? Well, we've been through the topics, Stevie D, but Sorry, you've arrived a little late, Stevie D. Um, am I close to Herrera's? I don't know where Herrera's is. No idea. I'm near San Tropez, but that's not. I don't know where Herrera's is. Sorry, never heard of the place. But that doesn't mean it's not a lovely place. But I don't know where it is. The Blue Nomad has been to Herrera's. Okay, well, it's on the way to Marseille. Okay. Does Lady Min know Herrera's?
What?
Herrera's.
Here.
Here, she says. See, I don't.
Very
Oh,
close by.
it's very close by, allegedly, but I've never been there. No,
H-E-R-E.
no, it's Hyères actually. Herrera's.
Oh no, I don't know.
She doesn't know it. What's my favorite tale of the unexpected episode? I think either the one with Joan Collins or the one with Julian Fellows. There we go. There are 110 episodes, and I have watched a lot of them. I do like the one with the leg of lamb in the freezer, which wasn't the leg of lamb, of course. That's a pretty good one. So, bit of laughter and a bit of joy. Roald Dahl was the best. Absolutely the best. Best of the best. Love it. We love Tales of the Unexpected. Tales of the Unexpected. I wish I could get hold of an episode right now, but sadly, I don't have what's called a VPN, so I can't watch because the VPN won't work for some odd reason. I've got a VPN, but it won't work. So it won't let me watch English TV. Right. Stevie D's in from driving trucks. Okay. So what kind of trucks do you drive, Stevie D?
Camions.
Do you drive a Scania or something like that? Or what kind of truck do you drive? Right. Stevie D likes the one where the wife leaves her husband to die in the lift, as he always winds her up about being late. Oh, I don't remember that one. And of course, Mario says, I love the Archers. Yes, but I can listen to the Archers because BBC Sounds, for some reason, works. I'm very lucky I can get my Archers addicts a little bit in. Have I had any good yellow sticker bargains lately? Well, in France, there are a few down here too. Yes, in the local supermarket, the GM Casino, I do find the odd bargain. Yes, I love a yellow sticker. You remember my goose? Yes, the goose was brilliant. Stevie D drives all manners of trucks, makes of trucks, sorry. You work for an agency. There we go. Treo Girl says, hey, men. Treo Girl says, hey, men.
Hey.
She says, hey, back to you. Right.
Who's that?
Treo Girl. Mario says Matthew is an expert with yellow stickers. I do love a yellow sticker, as you know, but in Broadstairs it wasn't much use in that little local Tesco. Their yellow stickers were a bit mean, but I loved the staff in there. They were delightful people, all of them. I miss the staff of Tesco Broadstairs. They were very nice people, lovely people. Have I watched Adrian Allen? I don't know who Adrian Allen is. Sorry, can't answer you on that one. So
I was there now. I'll go straight down to the magnet.
Men would like to go to the Magnet, but it's a little bit far to go for tonight. We'd have to drive all the way across France. It would be a little bit far, and then we'd have to get on the Eurotunnel. And That would be a little bit of
Same.
a
I was
route.
there. I would be down there.
She's busy pouring herself another glass of wine. She didn't pour me one.
Well, I haven't. Nobody else is pouring me a glass of wine.
She didn't bother to pour me one, but that wasn't very nice,
Take
was
the
it?
bottle. I can't pour it.
Oh, here.
Get the bottle.
Don't get up. I'm trying to make a program here. Oh, here we are. Right, so I do get a good telling off by her every moment. Right. The local Tesco has gone downhill, says Mario. Well, Tesco did go downhill the moment Dame Shirley Porter died. Right. Tina says, go Min, get yourself another glass of wine. The Blue Nomad wants to know if Lady Min has a whip.
A whip?
Yes. She doesn't have. She wishes she had a whip. If you came to the Magnet, says Mario, you could even have the corner seat.
Oh.
That's what.
My favorite seat.
That was her favorite seat, yes, as we all know. You're enjoying my recent podcast, says Jenny. Am I still living in Broadstairs? No, I'm not. No. Take care. Thank you, Jenny. It's very kind of you, Jenny. But no, Jenny. No. Anyway, Jenny, the greedy local landlady forced me out of my home like she did to many other people. She's a horrible piece of toe rag. Her name is Julie Moran. I call her Julie Moron. She's not a nice lady. And, shame on her. She's a destructor of communities, that woman. Vile and sick in the head. I don't like her. And, I'm going for a court case with her, and I'm going to keep fighting her. So bring it on, Mrs. Moron.
Watch the program.
Watch out, Mrs. Moron. We're after you. Nobody likes you. Trial Girl has a whip that someone could borrow. Oh, there we go. Right. Stevie D drove 10 different trucks today. Oh, well, you've been very busy, Stevie D. You're a busy man by all accounts. So there we are. Right. Well, we could try doing a quiz. I'll just have to find a different piece of paper. All right. If you'd like a quiz, if there's someone to help me with a quiz, we could try a quiz. Right. No, Anthea Turner will not be involved in the quiz. No. I'm not going to help Anth get involved. Anthea tries to find her way into everything, doesn't she? Our old Anth. But unfortunately for Anth,
forget about her.
The shouting in the background doesn't understand the irony of the joke. But there we go. Anth is there we go. Who is Anthea Turner? Asks Susan. She was a Blue Peter presenter once. You loved the banter. What do I think about Katie Hopkins? I think Katie Hopkins is an irrelevance. She's a bore. She's absolutely disgusting. She was at the farmers' protest that I went on. She was trying to make herself the center of attention. She's got absolutely nothing to do with the farming community. She is not somebody who I think has any relevance to the modern world. She's a supporter of the Tate brothers. She's, she thinks she's MAGA, she thinks she's this, she thinks she's that. she's just yawn inducing. She's boring. She's one of the most boring people I've ever come across. And I met her with Peter Mandelson. Says it all, doesn't it, really? Peter Mandelson and Katie Hopkins, two of the worst people on the planet. Absolute scumbags. No thanks. Right. Well, thank you for all of this. I don't think we can manage to do a quiz because we don't have anybody to help me do this quiz. So perhaps we'll save a quiz for tomorrow. Quizzes are perhaps not to be done every day. We've done an hour and 25 minutes. Tina De Silva asks who could tally the quiz. But we haven't really got anyone to do it, so might be a bit difficult. Anthea was married to Peter Powell until she did the dirty on him. Yes, she's a bit dirty. Yes, we know that. The Magnet is a wonderful pub. So sorry I can't meet you there. Basically says Jenny. Well, I hope, Jenny, you have a glorious time. Will and Nikki and the lovely Samantha, who run the place, are all very lovely people. There was a lovely man called Steve, but he's moved to Cornwall, I believe. So, and the lovely Karen has moved on to running a cake shop or something, I believe. So there we go. Go for the quiz. Right. They want a quiz. Well, we can do a few questions, and if Mario wants to keep notes, we can let Mario keep notes then. If Mario is prepared to keep notes. Tina used to send me mini cheddars to the Magnet. You did indeed, and you were very kind. Thank you, Tina. You were a lovely lady. Stevie D enjoyed the collab with Sean last night with a huge pizza and kebab with a chili. I've still got half my pizza left in the fridge for tonight. Oh, that sounds nice. I'd love a pizza. Wish. There we go. Jenny will meet Mario in the Magnet. Okay, well, here we are. Here's to a new friendship. You see, friends can be made on this channel. I can introduce people from the south of France to someone in Broadstairs to someone in Ramsgate. There we go. You can all meet. Where's Nicola from Edinburgh? Asks Simon. I don't know where Nicola from Edinburgh is, but Nicola from Edinburgh, I hope you're doing well, Nicola. What are mini cheddars? Well, if you don't know what a mini cheddar is, you really don't know me. But I do miss my mini cheddars. They don't sell them here in the front.
Local Waitrose and buy some.
I don't know where you are. Nicola wants to marry you. Oh.
Marry you?
Oh. Right. If I come to Fife, you'll treat me to pizza or fish and chips. Okay. I'd love to come to Fife for pizza or fish and chips. That sounds lovely. I like fish and chips. Haven't had any of those in a while. Would you like to come to America? Well, perhaps, yes. I used to love being in America. It depends where. Right. Have I flipped some pancakes? Not today. No.
Yes, pancake day.
Right. Anyway, St. Andrews is the best place for fish suppers. Well, I've never been to St. Andrews, but it would be nice to visit there one day, yes. But does Mario want to help us do this quiz or not? Are we going to do a quiz? Or perhaps we can... Mr. Lee Kicker has made pancakes today. Right. Susan's pancakes are stuck on the ceiling. Oh, well, that wasn't a very good idea, was it? That's going to be rather a mess for you to clean up tomorrow, isn't it? Mario said pass. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, we won't do the quiz today. The quiz can wait for tomorrow. So if we have any more questions, please ask them now. We're now at 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 29 minutes to be precise. But I think it's probably coming up. Mario isn't in sync with messages. Right, so he can't do it. Is there anyone else out there willing to do this? But no, I don't think so. Mario needs to refresh his screen, says Tina. There we go. I didn't know about that. Mario is quite a refreshed man when he's had a beverage or two. He loves a good old gin and tonic. He's a lovely gentleman who loves to play rugby. So there we go. But no, if he can't do it, we haven't got the other ones, and perhaps it's better to save the quiz for another day. Simon says he'll do it. Right. Well, Simon will tally the scores. Okay. Well, then let's go with a quiz. It's a bit of a random quiz. How many colours are used in the South African flag? There's your first question. How many colours are in the South African flag? We've got Lady Min shouting in the background with 6. But she doesn't count as an entrant. Tina gets it wrong with 4. Simon gets it wrong with 2. It's not Anthea Turner and it's not 5, but Stevie D and Lady Min are both correct with 6. Stevie D gets the point because Lady Min is not allowed to enter the quiz because she's in the background and she's shouting. And that's not. She did get it right, yes. So Stevie D and Lady Min get the answer correct with 6. The next question. What color is the flag of the United Nations? What colors are the flag of the United Nations?
3.
Well, that's not an answer, Lady Min. It's completely irrelevant. The answer is blue and white. So the winner is Simon Coates. Simon Coates, you get the point with blue and white. What country features a shipwreck on its national flag? A shipwreck. Susan Goddard claims her dog is barking out the answers. It's not Jamaica, no. Shirley Keeler gets it with Bermuda. Well done to Shirley. So we've got 1-1-1 thus far. In which country is the Chernobyl nuclear plant located? Very controversial for right now. It wasn't Anthea Turner's Bloomers, no. Hey Tiggers gets it with Ukraine. The Chernobyl nuclear plant was in Ukraine. Which is the only sea without any coastlines? It's not Anthea Turner, no. It's not the Caspian, it's not the Atlantic, no. Which is the only sea without any coastlines? It's not the Black Sea, no.
Adriatic.
It's not the Adriatic, and it's not the Baltic, it's not the Red. The winner is Stevie D with the Sargasso Sea. I've never heard of the Sargasso Sea myself. Which mountain range separates Europe and Asia. Which mountain range?
Pyrenees.
It's not the Pyrenees, and it's not the Alps, and it's not the Carpathians, and it's not Anthea Turner. It's not the dog say that your dog is very busy tonight, Susan. The dog says it's the Alps. Well, the dog is wrong. Stevie D gets another point, so Stevie D has now got several points. He's the Ural Mountains. How many elements are there in the periodic table? Trowel Girl says I'm rubbish at geography. Well, I'm sorry about that. It's not 121, and it's not 51, and it's not 112, and it's not 5, and it's not 32, and it's not 46, and it's definitely not Anthea Turner. 230 is not correct, and 111 is completely wrong. But Stevie D gets a third point, I think it is. The answer is 118. Well done to Stevie D, who is either very good at Google or just a very bright bloke. Thank you, Stevie D. Which planet in the Milky Way is the hottest? Mario is 2 questions behind. I'm sorry, Mario. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It doesn't matter. But I think we know Stevie D is the one in the lead. The winner of this one was not Stevie D. The first person to answer was Elaine Harvey. So Elaine Harvey gets the point. Venus. Right. Who discovered that the Earth revolves around the sun? It wasn't Minnie Cheddars, no. It wasn't Donald Trump. It wasn't a blue whale. It wasn't Anthea Turner, no. It wasn't Galileo, and it was Nicholas Copernicus. And the first of you to get that was Hey Tiggers. So you've got several points now. I don't know who's. I believe that the other gentleman is ahead of you still, but there we go. Which planet has the most moons? Which planet has the most moons? Loz is laughing so much here. Well, thank you for laughing. The Blue Nomad gets the answer but spelt it incorrectly. Saturn. Yes, I will accept your incorrectly spelling of Saturn. So the Blue Nomad has got the answer for that one. Which planet is closest to the sun? Hey Tiggers gets it with Mercury. So Hey Tiggers is now on a level, I think, with the other one. But I don't know. So whoever's keeping a note, we can't work out quite who's won. Where is the strongest human muscle located? Mario is laughing because he can't join. It's not the buttocks, it's not the leg, it's not the heart, it's not the spine, it's not the brain, it's not the tongue, it's not the foot, it's not the body. It's not Anthea Turner, but Stevie D gets another point. So I think Stevie D is storming into the lead. The answer is the jaw. So well done to Stevie D for yet another point. What is the only part of the body that is fully grown from birth? What part of the body is fully grown when you're born? It's not the rectum, it's not the groin, it's not Anthea Turner. Tina De Silva gets it with the eyes. Your eyes are fully developed when you are born. There we are. I didn't know that myself. How many bones do we have in an ear? How many bones do we have in an ear? It's not 2 and it's not 4. It's not 7. Lady the dog. Your dog is really doing badly tonight, love. Sorry, Susan. Your dog is I think your dog needs a bit of a rest. So obviously, it's not 11. It's not 23. It's not 54. The winner with 3 is Elaine Harvey. Thank you, Elaine. You got the point. Poor old dog. She's given up and she's gone out. I think that the lovely dog. What kind of dog is this dog? We love the dog, but I'm afraid to say it. Your dog really should not be entering quizzes. It's not done too well tonight, has it? So, what does Lady Min say about the dog?
Oh, I love the dog.
She loves the dog. Anyway, we all love the dog, but the dog. She'd like to have the dog. What's the obsession with Anthea Turner? It's not me. It's all the audience. They always want to ask me about what Anthea Turner thinks about anything. Anyway, Anthea's too bonkers. And as for the dog, woof woof, woof woof. Yes, right. You're feeling extremely competitive, Josie. Well, you're a bit late for the game, so you're not going to win. I'm afraid. Simon Coates thinks the dog should be entering Crufts. The Blue Nomad asks, is the dog called Fergie? No, I don't think it is. Des Dog says, I'm a dog. Okay, if you're a dog, you can be a dog. Some people identify as a hamster, but you want to be a dog? Be a dog. Right. What scientific theory proposed that Earth revolves around the sun? I shouldn't ask this question because I don't know the answer. My piece of paper doesn't have the answer on it, so let's forget that question. That's a stupid question. Right, I'll think of a question of my own. Right. Let me think of a question. What company is Sir Chris Bonington a director of? It's not Anthea Turner or the Archers. Yes, Berghaus. Well done to Simon Coates. You immediately got the answer. That was just a random question that just came randomly into my head. What did Bernard Eccleston do before he set up his involvement in Formula One? Well, Shirley T kind of gets it. Yes, he was a salesman, but what was he a salesman of? Okay. It wasn't Anthea Turner. He was a fishing gnome. No, he was a pantomime dwarf. He was a hairy mouse. Double glazing. Elaine Harvey kind of gets it with car. No, Stevie D gets it with car trader. I'll allow that. That's the answer. What did Jeffrey Epstein do before he became a teacher?
Taxi driver.
We've got shouting in the background, but he didn't work at Mackie D's. No, he didn't sell condoms. He didn't sell Anthea Turner. No, he wasn't a party organizer. He wasn't a Cilla Black impersonator, and he wasn't a bouncer. No. What do you think he did? He was a floor trader. No. Right. He wasn't a shop worker. He didn't work in Dunkin' Donuts. He wasn't a transvestite singer. You do have some very odd ideas, some of you. He wasn't a stripper. It's a tough one. Okay, yes, it is a tough one. He wasn't a window cleaner. So you don't know what Jeffrey Epstein did. Jeffrey Epstein was a taxi driver. So none of you get the point for that one, other than Lady Min in the background. Right. Let me think of another question. Neil Kinnock's son is married to the leader of which country? Neil Kinnock's son married the leader of which country? It's not Switzerland, but it is Claudia G. You are completely correct. It is Denmark. Neil Kinnock's son is married to the leader of Denmark. Correct. That's an easy one in my view, but some of you think it's Fraggle Rock. Oh, well, there we go. Right. Did Enid Blyton like children? That's a question.
Yes.
Tina De Silva gets it correct immediately. The answer is no. She loathed and detested children. I don't know why she wrote books for children, because she didn't actually like children. She thought children were appalling. There we go. So that's the answer to that one. Next question. How did Laura Ashley die?
Fell down the stairs.
Lady Min should not be shouting in the background, but she has got the answer. But Simon Coates is the first person to get it on here. Sir Bernard Ashley, her husband, did he get a title in his own right, or was it because of his wife? She wasn't eaten by a shark. No, she wasn't. No, a shark didn't eat her. It wasn't because of Cilla Black, and it wasn't because of a stripper. No, Anthea Turner didn't do it. No, not on this occasion. Well, I will tell you, Bernard Ashley was awarded a title in his own right. So, but there we go. He was awarded a title in his own right. It was nothing to do with his wife. There we go. She didn't machine her hands up whilst making curtains. No. There we go. My questions are too hard. Okay. Let me think of an easier question for. I don't want to make questions that are suitable for Google. I think my questions are perfectly reasonable. Right. I've got to think of another question. How do you make a Negroni? What are the 3 ingredients in a Negroni? There's an easy question for you, if you want an easy one. 3 ingredients. Name the 3 ingredients for a Negroni. It is not white wine, and white wine. A Negroni is not made with wine. It's not pepperoni. And Simon Coates says booze times 3. What are the 3 ingredients? Stevie D wins with gin, vermouth, and Campari. That's a Negroni. There's your simple Negroni. Right. Mario says, I never answered your questions in the magnet. I did try to, but your questions were very complicated. They're all about sport, and I'm not really into sport, as you know, Mario. I know a bit about horse racing, but I don't know much about much else. Right. Let's think of another question. Gosh, I'm inventing questions here. Right, you like a question. What was the name of the character Patricia Routledge played in Keeping Up Appearances? The winner immediately is Shirley T. Keeler with Mrs. Bouquet. Yes, it was Hyacinth Bucket, the lady of the house, Keeping Up Appearances. She was a lovely lady and a great character. What did the antiques dealer? What was the name? Sorry, what was the name of the antiques dealer in the BBC 1980s series? What was his name? Okay, his name, Tina, was quite correct. Lovejoy. What was the business that the Howard family got into in another BBC 1980s series to do with boats? What was the name of the family? No, what was the name of the family? Miss Marple gets it with Howard. It was called Howard's Way. And Min and I love watching a bit of Howard's Way. Howard's Way is a great thing when we've been with some people who were in Howard's Way today. So there we go. What let me think of another question. Things are spinning through my brain, but it's very hard to come up with. I have not written it. I normally write things down. I get prepared. I do generally get prepared in advance for anything I do. Another question, a more contemporary question. Which talent show did Will Young appear on? No, I don't know the answer. I don't know if it was Britain's Got Talent or X Factor, so either of you win. Or Pop Idol. I think it was called Pop Idol. There we go. Someone can correct Gareth Gates. What was the alternative name that Katie Price used for herself? Miss Marple gets it with Jordan. Yeah, so that was Katie Price, otherwise known to my audience as the Skank. That was her alternative name. What is Bonnie Blue famous for?
Lou in the loo.
Miss Min is wrong. Lady Min is wrong. Simon Coates says 1,000 shags. Yes, you're completely right. She was a woman who had sex with 1,000 people in an afternoon. Absolutely revolting. Let's think of something a little more civilized for the next question. Which is the name of the oldest wine merchant in the world? Or what is the name? Sorry, not which. Stupid me. It's not Sandeman, no. It's not Dom Perignon. It's not Rothschild. Which is the name of the oldest wine merchant in the world? It's not Buckfast. It's not Christie's. That's an auction house. It's not Penfolds. It's not Blue Nun, and it's not Champagne, and it's not Wolf Blass. Stevie D wins with Berry Brothers. It's Berry Brothers and Rudd, the oldest wine merchants in the world. St. James's, they've got 2.5 acres of cellars underneath St. James's Street. Wonderful place. Best place I've ever been in my entire life. I love that place. You can have your own weight in wine. Beautiful, wonderful place. And they have the wonderful King's Ginger as well as the Berry Brothers and Rudd number 3 gin. Absolutely fabulous. Cliff Richard is not the oldest winemaker in the world. No, he sells cheap crap from Portugal. Which Midland soap had a man called Benny in it, asks Expialidocious. Wasn't that called Crossroads? I'm not here to answer your quiz questions. I'm asking the questions, but there we go. I've answered your question. I think I got the right answer. Right. And Mario also answered the question correctly. So, right. We're nearly at 1 minute 55. At 2 hours, I think it's time to call this a night. But, right. My next question to you is on a different topic. Let me think. Gosh, I'm going to think of a question quickly. Which pork pie was voted the best pork pie in Britain recently? It wasn't Ginster's. No.
Yorkshire.
Milton Mowbray is where pork pies are made, but which company's pork pie? Sorry, I should say. I'll correct it. Which company made the best pork pie? Which supermarket? I'll make it easier. It's not Greg's, no, and it's definitely not Ginster's. It's not Mrs. Miss Marple gets it with Waitrose. The Waitrose pork pie was voted the best of the pork pies in a recent survey that I read about today. So there we go. I love a pork pie, and I'm missing my pork pies very much. My next question will be let me think, something completely different. Let me think. Which famous grocer, Royal Supplying grocer, recently closed down that was located just off Sloane Square? Which Royal grocer closed their shop down in the last month? It wasn't Fortnum and Mason, no. They're not next to Sloane Square. Which Royal grocer recently closed their shop? They do have another shop, but this particular shop was their main shop. Miss Marple wins with Partridges. Partridges of Sloane Square recently tragically closed down, and that was the end of Partridges of Sloane Square. So that was them. Right. Another question. You've got Bangers and Mash from Asda. It's supposedly better than the Bangers and Mash from Marks and Spencer's, says Hatchy. Well, I love a bit of Bangers and Mash, yes. Do we still have Woolworths in the UK? No, I don't think Woolworths exists. You miss them very much in the States. Yes, I quite agree with you. Woolworths was a store I used to go to as a child. I remember being taken there by my granny Steeples, and she would take me in there so I could have sweets. And there were all these counters, and you could just take as many, and I was allowed to take as many as I wanted, and I'd take hundreds of sweets. It was unbelievable. No, we're talking about Woolworths.
Yeah, Woolworths is married to a Marks and Spencer.
No, but
It is.
anyway, we're getting interruption in the background, but there we go. Australia has Woolworths, but it's not the same. Yes, you'd like pick and mix. I liked pick and mix when I was a child. It was disgusting, horrible stuff, really. But I did enjoy it. Did I remember the Gainsborough lady on the chocolate pick and mix? No, I can't say I remember the Gainsborough lady. Right. Target and Kmart. No, I don't know. I'm not an expert on those two things. You liked strawberry fizzy laces. Did Lady Min ever have a strawberry fizzy lace? No, she never had a strawberry fizzy lace or a chocolate peanut.
Oh, no.
No, nor did I. But there we go. Different people. Mario bought all his records from Woolworths. What kind of records did you buy, Mario? That's my question to you. We're now at 2 hours exactly, so we're going to wrap up soon. You once saw an elderly gentleman filling his pockets at the pick and mix. I'm sure many people went in there and stole. I'm sure that's probably how it came to go.
Mario, Marks and Spencer. Yes.
Anyway, the chocolates have probably melted before they hit your mouth if you're in Australia. Will I be coming back tomorrow? I anticipate so, yes. I'm going to try my best, but we will see what happens. Right. My next question to you is, let me think. Which program made Jeremy Clarkson famous? An easy question. Simon Coates wins with Top Gear. That was an easy question because some of you have been complaining my questions are too hard. So I'm just thinking of something simple and stupid. My next question to you is what was my late friend who died yesterday famous for? Jack Vetriano. What made him famous? What was the name of the painting that made him famous? No, the name of the painting. Miss Marple is semi there with the butler, but it was the singing butler. There we go. So anyway, we'll let you have that point. You got there nearly. What made my other late friend who died yesterday, Catherine, the girlfriend of Richard Whiteley, what made her famous other than being involved with Richard Whiteley? What TV show was she in? Right. I think I've got you all a bit perplexed there on that point. Susan tries to get it correct, but you didn't spell it correctly. You said Coronato. I think you mean Coronation Street. She was in Coronation Street, yes. She was also on BBC Radio Leeds, and she was also, most interestingly, in Bugsy Malone. That was an amazing thing she was in. I loved Bugsy Malone as a child. It was one of the most happy things I've ever watched as a child. I loved watching that. And I loved those pedal cars. Absolutely fantastic. It brought joy to my life. I loved it. Made me happy. So that's a nice thing. Yes, she was in a kids' TV show. Yes, Simon, you're right. Bugsy Malone. And you all love Bugsy Malone. Hey, Tiggers. There we go. This is a nice thing. We need to have a bit of joy in the world. So that's an absolutely lovely thing. And today is pancake day, so I hope you've all thrown your pancakes on the ceiling like our friend who tried to feed the dog by throwing the pancakes on the ceiling. I don't think it's a very good idea to throw your pancakes on the ceiling because then you're gonna have to get a decorator around to put it right, aren't you? So there we go. Susan has eaten so many, I feel sick. Tina says, happy tossing, everybody. Right. Oh dear. There seems to have been a lot of disasters. Josie is drinking champagne with freshly squeezed orange juice because you've been watching With Love with Megan.
Why with framboise?
No, she's been watching With Love Megan. Megan is encouraging people to drink champagne mixed with orange juice. Stevie is having leftover pizza day. I'm not going to repeat what Des Dog has to say because I think that's a bit offensive. Right. Who on earth would want to watch the floozy Megan, basically, is what Shirley's saying. I'm going to follow Megan's recipe for my pancakes, says Mario. You really... we love Megan, says Trevor. I think you're actually mocking her. Yes, I understand. LOL. You're not a fan of Megan at all, but there we go. Josie is, I'm hate watching. I used to like Harry, says Expialidocious. I don't like him anymore. Megs and Harry, a pair of grifters, says Shirley. Yes, I agree with you. Her show starts, let's go. I wish she would go, says Miss Marple. Josie says, I study narcissism. She should do a sailing show, yachting with Megan. Yes, well, we all know about her yacht girl time. She's a bit of a yacht girl, is our Meg. We hate Meghan and Harry in the States, says Rosebud. I think everybody worldwide can't stand Harry and Meg. The modern day version of Wallace Simpson and the complete drip that he is. Total waste of space. I'd rather go swinging with Anthea than spend times with them. I think most people would. It's time that Prince Andrew was starring on the yacht show, yes, because of course the first person to meet Meghan wasn't Prince Harry, it was Prince Andrew. Randy Andy had her on the yacht. She's what's known as a yacht girl. She got around. Let's be honest. Even Anthea Turner doesn't swing into action like her. They're both preposterous pests. They're totally disgusting, both of them. I think we're starting to get a feeling of the world of what people feel about Meghan and Harry, the couple who have never even been to Sussex. So she should stop using the bloody name Sussex because she doesn't have anything to do with it. Randy Andy has had everyone. Have I got any thoughts on Amy Winehouse and One Direction Liam? Well, Amy Winehouse was a brilliant singer. This Liam character, it sounds like he was a complete mess. Very sad how they both died because they both had talent, but it doesn't mean that they were nice people. I'm no idea, but I have met the father of Amy Winehouse, and I didn't like the man. I thought he was absolutely weird. I don't know anything about Liam Payne other than what I've read about him, and it's very, very sad. Just seems like a very sad story. Right. Talent means nothing now, says Trevor. Um, yes, the chat is very funny today, says Rosebud. Yep. Okay. Well, good night to Susan and good night to your dog. Hope your dog doesn't have any more pancakes. It might not be a good idea to keep feeding a dog pancakes, Susan. So let's not have any more pancakes for that old dog of yours. Don't know what your dog's called, but we send your dog our best wishes. Right. Stevie D's put the leftover pizza in the microwave. And Britain's Got Talent is embarrassing. Susan. Well, I like Susan Boyle, as we all know, and Lady Min and I are the biggest supporters of Susan Boyle. We love Susan. Yes?
Like to have a pancake with her tonight.
We'd love to be having a pancake with Susan Boyle, but unfortunately, we can't go. We went to a council estate today, but we didn't go to Susan Boyle's council estate where she lives. It would have been very, very nice to have visited Susan Boyle on her council estate. Nothing wrong with people who live on a council estate, but we got lost and ended up in the wrong place, in this stupid, ridiculous place, because of the stupid map of a stupid council, which took us to a council house estate, and we ended up in the wrong place. So, but it was the right address, but it wasn't the right council. It wasn't the right council building. Anyway, never mind. So we love the voice of Susan Boyle. She's a national treasure. Yes, well said, Trevor. We love Susan Boyle, and anyone who criticizes Susan Boyle should be shot. We don't like anyone criticizing our Susan, because we love Susan. She's got the voice of she's not like Charlotte Church. She's a disgusting, awful person. Don't like her. She's mad, complete lunatic. But we love Susan Boyle. So there we go. Keeley, I do apologize. Like Susan. It's only 3:30 here in South Carolina. Well, your day's just starting, isn't it, Susan? So you can spill your tea to me. Yes, that's a nice name you've got. Susan, spill your tea to me. I hope you're on something stronger, like a bit of gin, maybe. Right. And the lovely Jenny, yes, very nice, thank you. Susan Boyle is talented and lovely too. Lee T, do you know how hard it was to do that quiz whilst playing tennis? Well, I don't know how you can join in with our quiz whilst you're playing tennis. Are you not watching the balls? Sarah J says it's 10:30 a.m. here. Well, wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely time. What would I belt out at a karaoke? I don't do karaoke, no, that's not my style. We went to a karaoke recently, and there were some very strange people there. If I put up a picture of those strange people, it would be rather embarrassing. So no, we won't be doing that. Stevie D hates Sophie Ellis Bextor. I disagree with you. I think Sophie Ellis Bextor is a lovely lady. I think you should leave her alone. That's not a very nice thing to say. Stevie D, you come across as a nice man, but no, you must not be mean about Sophie Ellis Bextor. Right. Right. It's been a great live funny chat, says Des the dog. Or Des Dog with 2 G's. Well, it's been a lovely time chatting with you, Des Dog. We've enjoyed you all. Retracted comment by Stevie D, but no, I don't think you should have been nasty about Sophie Ellis Bextor. She hasn't harmed anybody. Leave her alone. Sophie Ellis Bextor.
Who?
Oh, Lady Min doesn't know who Sophie Ellis Bextor is. There's no point even going there.
I do, actually.
Well, I think Sophie Ellis Bextor is perfectly all right. Anyway, Susan loves hanging out with me, Matthew. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us, as they say. Miss Marple gets a thumbs up. And and Susan loves Lady Min. Susan loves Lady Min.
Thank you, Susan.
Where would I most like to go on holiday? Presently, presently I'd like to go to Stornoway. I'd love to go to Stornoway. It's time I went to Scotland. I'm missing Scotland very much. Miss Marple loves Lady Min. There we go. There we go. Would I like to go to Mustique? I've never been to Mustique, and I'd love to go there. Yes, Mustique. There's some very nice places to stay in Mustique. I have been to Barbados, which is a very nice place. I haven't been to St. Bart's. I've certainly never been to the Jeffrey Epstein Islands. I'm one of the few people who hasn't been to the Jeffrey Epstein Islands. And I certainly won't be going there when it's turned into a holiday resort, which the new owner is planning to do. Why on earth would anyone on the planet want to go on holiday to the Jeffrey Epstein Pedo Islands? That is like the... You've got to be a complete fruitcake to do that. Miss Marple wants to go to Barbados. Well, that's nice. Sarah J says Scotland is beautiful. I agree. Hive is nice. No, I don't want to go to Hive. That's where James Stunt's lawyer resides, and I don't want to go there. Thank you. She has a cafe there, I believe. No, I don't want to go there. No, thank you. If I go back to Kent, I'd like to go and visit Sandwich. I've never been there. That'd be a nice place to visit.
Marrakesh.
Anyone remember Gertie Rude? Says Tina De Silva. Why do you ask me about someone called Gertie Rude? She's an extremely rude person. And I don't know why you're asking me questions about Gertie Rude. Not my kind of person. No. And if she comes back here, we'll deal with her. She's a piece of trash. Absolute scumbag. We love the Yankee Wally. We love our Sadie Quinlan, the lovely Yankee Wally. Lady Min loves the Yankee Wally. Yankee Wally is a lady that speaks sense, but we don't like Gertie Rude. Gertie Rude is a creep. Terrible person. Not fit for this channel. No, thank you. Not welcome here. Get out of my house, as they would say. Get out of my pub, as Peggy Mitchell would scream. I don't like that. Roddy Llewellyn is banned from Mustique for some reason. Well, that's nothing to do with me. There we go. Roddy and Prince Margaret. There we go. Hive in Hampshire. No, Hive is in Kent. It's not in Hampshire. So anyway, I should get on Loose Women, says Kitty Cat. I don't wish to go on Loose Women because I'm a man. I'm not a woman. And I'm not of transgender. So I don't want to go on Loose Women. There we go. And whoever you are who is... we've got a few of you chiming in here. Oh, yes, we've got all the usual suspects who want to cause me a bit of upset. So you're trying to piss me off. Yes, I know what you're up to. There we go. Mario, ban the lot of them. Ban them all. Ban. No, thank you. Do I like Ben Fogle? You think he's great? No, I think Ben Fogel's a bit of a bore, but there we go. Oh, you just want to all, but you're a nice person, Stevie D, so I don't mind you. Great to see you back on YouTube. Yes, ban, 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 ban. I'm too woke for loose women. Okay, yes. Oh, right. Okay. So now we've got all the lunatics entering the asylum. At this point, I think it's probably best to say we've nearly done 2.5 hours. So we'll have another 10 minutes and then we're going to close this thing down. So, right. It is quite ridiculous that you people come here to harass me. If you want to harass me, you're not going to achieve anything because you're just boring. We just ban you. You're absolutely dull. The nice people here are very nice. And we've had a lovely time chatting until you lot turned up. And you lot, go throw yourself off a ferry. You're a boring bunch of prigs. Absolutely awful. We've got the wonderful Mario, the wonderful Tina, the wonderful Cheryl, the wonderful Keeley, the wonderful Expialidocious, the wonderful Simon, lovely people. If you don't like us and you don't like me, which obviously you don't like me, I'm the problem. You don't have to watch. You have the right to leave. So bog off. And everyone loves it when I tell people to bog off. So bog off. I've had enough of you people. You're a load of trash. You're a load of trailer park crap. Now don't keep coming harassing me. I'm not interested if you're Michael Barrymore supporters, Petra Eccleston's supporters, whoever you're working for or associated with, bog off. I'm not really bothered. Have I thought of doing interviews? Well, I would do some interviews, yes, of course. I do. I've done dinners with guests. You may have been able to watch my dinner with Peter Blexley. The one I did with Claire Rubenstein, the other ones at PJ's and Chelsea, and I will be doing more of those. Yes, I regularly. I used to do debates. I did one with Gina Miller and all sorts of people. MPs like Mark Pritchard and all sorts of people. Lots of things like that. I've done loads of those over the years, but it would be nice. And you came for the quiz and you stayed for the banter, says Claire Louise. Yes, I'm sorry about the last arrivals, but we've got rid of them. And if they wish to continue being ranting and raving, shove it up the jumper. That's what I say. I'm too funny. Well, thank you. You're howling, says Trevor. Good. You are like Michael Aspel, lovely interviewer. He's 92 now. Michael Aspel, I'm sorry, I'm not in the league of Michael Aspel. He was a far superior being to me. You'd love to see me interview Nigel Farage. I somehow don't think that's likely to happen because I don't think Mr. Farage likes me. But there we go. Can I interview Farage? Says another one of you. How was Granny's birthday? Well, Granny Howard is doing very well, and we send love and best wishes to Granny Howard. She is an amazing, wonderful lady. I celebrate her. And Lady Min here, what do you say to Granny Howard?
Oh, love.
Love to Granny Howard. Right. Michael Barrymore should naff off and go and clean out some swimming pools. Yes, it could be a good idea. Keir Starmer needs, yeah, well, he's another creep. Farage, as in garage. Yes, that's correct. I should interview Mario. Yes, I'd love to do an interview with Mario. I don't know if Mario is still here, but it would be a pleasure to do an interview with Mario. He's a community hero in Broadstairs. What he does for young disabled children and rugby is fabulous. He is the most wonderful community hero. And I like to celebrate good people as much as I like to denigrate bad people. So we love to celebrate a good person like Mario as much as we like to bring down a bad person like Barrymore. So that's how I feel about society. Mario says we have many debates. Yes, we do. Mario and I do have many debates, but we don't agree on everything. But I think him and I are on pretty much the same page on most topics. Right. Scores on the doors. Miss Marple and Simon got 5. Hey Tiggers and Tina are on 3. The winner is Stevie D, who got 8. So, Stevie D, you won our quiz. Thank you very much for the evidence, Simon, if that is indeed the case. So, Stevie D was our winner tonight. Great. Well done to you, Stevie D. We're coming up to 2 minutes 25, so we've got 5 minutes to go. So it's time for your final few questions. There we go. So we've got 5 minutes before you need to.
So you got a second to pour me a glass of wine.
We have not got time to pour anyone a glass of wine. We've got 5 minutes to go until the program closes. No, the program will be closing. Tina D would like a postcard, so I've got to send you a postcard. Tina D, can you send me an email with your postal address, and I will send you a postcard. I promise. I will send you a postcard. That's very kind of you to send £10 for.
I will send the postcard.
Lady Min will sign the postcard.
I'll send it.
There we go. So, right. I did 30 questions. There we go. You had 30 questions and we had a winner.
How did you get right?
Well, our winner got 8. So there we go. What party would you run for if you had an option in 2029, Reform or Labour? I would like the Conservative Party to come back to government, but I'd like a real Conservative Party, and I'd like Victoria Atkins to be the leader of the Conservative Party. I don't like Kemi Badenoch. I think the name Bad sums her up. I do not like Nigel Farage, as in garage. He should rod off and shove it up his jumper. He's a piece of rubbish. And as for Keir Starmer and Angela Raver and, all those lunatics, they need throwing down the dustbin. Not suitable for my liking. No, thank you. So we've got 2 minutes to go. And I need
new spectacles from Specsavers.
We've got Madam here moaning about spectacles. She wants some wine. Ugh. Wine. That's all we ever do here. Right, but no, we've only got a couple of minutes to go, or we might keep going a bit longer at this rate. Right. Anyway, thank you ever so much for your participation. You need a good Enoch. No, I'm not a great fan of him. We need a new modern day Margaret Thatcher. That is what this country, in my humble opinion, believes we need. it would be a lovely thing to have a modern day Margaret Thatcher. And I say the best prospect we've got in the Conservative Party is Victoria Atkins. I've known Victoria my life. She's a wonderful lady. She's a decent lady. She's got the right kind of mentality. She doesn't want to do it yet, from what I gather, but Victoria is the one I will be backing. And if Victoria could become leader of the Conservative Party, I think the Conservative Party has a good chance. I think it's the best way forward. We need somebody who can shake it up. And just because her hair doesn't look right and this, that, and the other, they keep moaning about her hair. Leave her alone. People said that about Margaret Thatcher, that she didn't have the right voice. Give the woman a chance. I say bring her on. Let's have Victoria Atkins as leader of the Conservative Party in the future. It won't happen tomorrow because this Kemi Badenoch's not going anywhere for the moment. So pause for the moment. We're not going to have a Conservative government for a very long time. We've got at least 4 years to wait before we can even have the chance of any change of government, because Keir Starmer has a majority of over 170 seats. Keir Starmer is not going to be going anywhere in a hurry. Him and his glasses, you know, he couldn't even pay for his own wife's knickers. He had to get that man to pay for her knickers. It's disgusting. The man's revolting. Anyway, absolutely appalling. Yep. And, he's not as, he could swing into action with Anthea Turner. Yes. No, that's not a good idea. Anyway, right. So, you're all saying have a good evening. One glass of wine and down a bottle of gin. Well, I haven't had any gin yet, so maybe later. But no, I'm going to have an early evening. It's time. It's time after 2.5 hours, nearly, to say thank you very much. We've had 4 years of hell, says Mario. Yes, 4 years of hell ahead. Mario is bang on the nail. Margaret Thatcher sorted out the Falklands. Well said, Stevie D. She certainly did. Margaret was the best. Margaret was the most wonderful prime minister ever. People say Winston Churchill was superb and fantastic, and he was the best because, he was the war leader. He was the war leader. No, she didn't make any mistake in the Falklands. She made a huge success in the Falklands. The woman
made a huge mistake.
She made no mistake. Margaret Thatcher made one mistake, and that was the poll tax. And that was a bit of an error. But Margaret Thatcher was the best peacetime leader in history. Margaret Thatcher ran Britain better than anyone else has ever run a country. Tony Blair was her successor of note. Now, most people here will disagree with me, but he knew how to run a country too. He got it wrong with that war. That was a big mistake. She did not get it wrong. What she did in the Falklands was fantastic. Well done, Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was a wonderful, wonderful lady. And I will not have a bad word said against her. And I will not tolerate nastiness about the wonderful Margaret.
She gave over to John Major.
I don't need the shouting in the background, but there we go. This is what happens when I do these programs, when I have audience. It's not quite as bad as when Lady Min had her friend Mrs. Puddle, the dreadful Mrs. Puddle in the background. I'm sure many of you remember that episode, and that wasn't particularly good. But if you were called Puddle, not a great name for the world, is it? And it's an irony that I bring her up today, given that Mr. Stunt has been cleared. And I raise a glass to Mr. Stunt and say, I hope you enjoy your private life. I don't think you're going to have a private life because I don't think that's your style, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's totally irrelevant to the matter. Right. Will Nigel Farage be the next Prime Minister? He's got 6 seats in Parliament. Keir Starmer has a majority of 170. The answer is no. Not going to happen. Yes, Simon Coates is right. The poll tax was fair but misjudged. I remember when I was a 10-year-old child being sent around by my father on a bicycle to deliver leaflets and to go to the local council house in a village, Dolphin Home, where I grew up. And there was this family, and they had, I don't know, 6 or 8 children or something. And they said, we voted Conservative all our life. We bought our council house and all the rest of it. And they told me the whole story of their situation. And I said, I'm just here to bring a leaflet. They said, we would have voted, Margaret. We'd have voted for her forever because we got our council house. But we're 8 people. And yes, the poll tax was an unfair tax because it was taxed on the number of people. And it meant that people who lived in a mansion paid less than the people who lived in a house like them, their semi-detached council house. And the same is now true of council tax. Council tax has become a problematic tax also. So if you're Nick Candy, who has a 200 million pound flat in Hyde Park, in one Hyde Park, he pays the same amount of council tax as Lady Min here, who has a 4-bedroom house down the road that is worth 3 million, 2 million, whatever it's worth. So a 2 million pound house is in the same council tax band as a 200 million pound house. That is ludicrous. People who live in these 200 million pound houses should not be paying the same amount as someone who lives in a 2 million pound house. So the world has moved on and we need to have a readjustment. It is time that the council tax was reformed. But of course, how are you going to do this without, you can't really do this very easily. I understand the complexities. Michael Heseltine tried to do good things. And, my father long ago was involved in this matter. It is a very complicated thing, but Margaret got it wrong. I will say the poll tax was wrong, but the council tax is now wrong. So we have to fix the situation. Something must be done about this tax because Nick Candy and his 200 million pound place should not be paying the same as a 4-bedroom house that's worth 2 million. Anyway, that's that. Right. Council tax is become like having a second mortgage. Yes. My house is band D and it's stupidly expensive. Yes. I'm sure it is, Sarah. It's appalling. I've just had my water rates 1,200 and 600 for sewage. So that's 1,800 bill you've just had, Simon. That's terrible. I don't know how big your house is. I don't know if you've got a mansion or you've got a caravan, but that sounds a lot of money. Simon says my council tax is 4,200. That's appalling. It's a lot of money. Crazy.
Yeah.
We want Elon to audit Zelensky. Yes, I think Mr. Zelensky needs to go. I think we've all had enough of Zelensky now. He needs to run off. He's a pest. Don't like him. And I'm prepared to say it. I am not going to be popular for saying that I don't like Zelensky. Oh, you can't criticize him. He's a good leader. He's a nice man. Oh, yeah. How much has he stolen? There we go. I really don't like this Zelensky. No, not for me. I've never liked Zelensky. I've always said this man's on the rob. I will be proven right. So there we go. Right. Zelensky's in it for the dosh. Now tell, says Shirley. Sarah says, I don't like Zelensky either. Right. Well, it seems I'm not alone on this occasion. So cheers to all of you. You speak sense. You wouldn't trust Elon. No. Okay. Well, I don't trust Elon Musk, but Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going to have a falling out. That won't last forever. Look what happened last time round with Steve Bannon. You know, it's going to be a repeat of that. But the person we don't want anything good to happen to is Ghislaine. If Ghislaine thinks she's got a chance of getting back in the room, she'd do anything for a bus ticket. She would. She's a dreadful piece of rubbish. Anyway, right. Okay. Well, we're coming towards 2 minutes and 41. So I think we must end this matter soon. So do you have any final questions to ask me about? We'll give up at 2 minutes and 45 because I think that is more than enough. And it is time for me to go to sleep because it is 10 o'clock here and I would like to go to sleep, to be frankly honest. Yes. I could keep going for another hour or two, but I think it's rather. We can't talk forever, so here we are. Right. What am I having for supper? I haven't eaten. No. Mario misses me. I miss Mario. Yes, I miss you, Mario, very much. Right. Simon is going to go to bed too. Yes, everyone's going to bed because it's time to go to bed. Shirley says, good chat. Night, one and all. Bless up. Well, we say good lovely thank you to you. How can me and the dog move up the ladder living in a caravan, says Hatchie. Well, Lady Min isn't listening, but there we go. Mario will be at the school at 9 a.m. Well, that's lovely. Thank you, Mario. And I thank you for being so kind for helping tonight. And that's been wonderful. There we go. So, have we anything else to say? 2 minutes 43, 2 hours and 43. Until next time, everyone. Thanks, says Des Dog. Anyway, you've all been utterly wonderful. Thank you ever so much. We've got 2 minutes to go, so any final questions, please bring them in now. Love from Vancouver, Canada, says Nana. Well, love to Vancouver, Canada. Right. Simon Coates has said it's been a great stream tonight, a good stream tonight. Mario says, I love you all. Well, we love Mario, yes. Katrina says, night, night, Matthew and Lady Min. Stay safe. Hugs.
Lots of love and good night.
Stevie D says, thank you to Matthew and Lady Min. Catch up tomorrow, we hope. Trevor just says, where's Anthea Turner? Of course, Anthea Turner has to come into absolutely everything. Mario has been given a big thumbs up. Loz says, not Anthea again. And
absolutely.
Susan has said good night to Anthea. Shirley wants to hit the share, like, and sub on the way home, folks. Lee T says it's been an absolute class. What is Lady Min doing?
Drinking wine.
She's drinking wine. That's what Rosebud.
Getting ready to get up the stairs.
She's getting ready to go up the stairs. So there we go. Lady Min's getting ready to do that. Lee T is saying ha ha ha. That's nice. And we're now at 2 minutes and 45. So I'm going to say thank you very much for your participation. You've all been wonderful. You've been wonderful. I'm going to say thank you very much. I'm going to say good night, good gardening, and pip pip. Cheers to you all. And I'm going to say pip pip and thank you very much. It's been a great laugh. Yes, you're having a few of San Miguel's, and I've had a glass of wine, and I will say good night. Thank you. Pip pip. Bye bye.